But I will say one thing about the SNP, unfortunately, and this is going to be Labour's fault, and I think you alluded to it earlier as well, actually, that, you know, Labour are really playing right into the hands of the SNP at the moment. The SNP really don't have to do a great deal. All they've got to do is sit back and point out everything that's going on inside Westminster. And as you said about the oil and gas industry, although the SNP can't really brag too much about that because they tried to get rid of it as well. But all the jobs that Labour are going to cost, the income that Labour are going to cost, the damage they're going to do to Britain's economy. And the SNP, if people aren't careful, the SNP are going to sweep the board at Holyrood in 2026.
Yes, this idea that they're going to be defeated, I'm not so sure about that at all. I think that the way things are going, it's probably going to be a hung parliament. I don't see Labour doing anything that's setting the woods on fire.
No.
I see them doing quite a bit that is going to upset some of their core voters. As I say, I mentioned the energy thing there. This real strong push for so-called green energy without allowing a proper transition period for the Scottish oil and gas. Do you have any thoughts on where that might go?
I made a video actually saying that Ed Miliband is probably the most dangerous man in Britain. People can look at Starmer because he's the figurehead of the government, but Starmer believes in nothing. He's not dangerous. He's just a fool who's led by the nose. Ed Miliband actually believes in this rubbish, and he is full steam ahead, trying to take away your boilers, trying to make you get expensive heat pumps, etc. He's absolutely willing to sacrifice those at least 240,000 jobs that rely on the oil and gas industry, from the people who work on the rigs to the lorry drivers who transport this stuff up and down the country. He does not care. He is willing to destroy the country if it means getting to net zero. He honestly doesn't care. He will destroy the Highlands. He will destroy parts of England like the Lake District with wind turbines, solar farms, all the rest of it. And that, as I said, politically, that's going to play into the hands of the SNP. But socially and economically for this country, it's going to be an absolute disaster. But I mean, economically, we are going to lose out on so much money. There's so much oil and gas there that we could be using. If you don't want to frack, fine. But at least, think about them towns around Aberdeen that need the hotels that might have people coming, workers staying there, or the bars and restaurants that rely on workers coming off the rigs and having a few pints and a meal and that. All this is going to be gone. Places like Aberdeen or the surrounding villages and towns will be wasteland afterwards. There'll be no reason for people to go there anymore, apart from the scenery.
Well, that's absolutely right. That's a good way of putting it. I was reading this article as well about the dangers, and Offshore Energy UK estimates that around 100,000 of the 220,000 jobs linked directly to North Sea oil and gas are in Scotland. You only need to look at the impact on hospitality and retail of the oil price shock of 2015 to see that large-scale job losses in oil and gas have significant knock-on consequences outside their own industry. Anything that negatively affects them disproportionately hits income tax receipts also. And income tax is devolved in Scotland. So if you wipe out that economy, you're not just making the cost of fuel higher, you're also lowering the income tax take that you would have got from people who were employed in and around that industry. So it could be very bad for Labour.